The user interface is a massive part about how a game feels. Most of the time, you'll know when a UI is good when you don't need to think about it. Everything works logically and things are where they should be. However, there's more to UI design than just put button here, put text there, and look good. It has to be carefully designed so as to effectively communicate information so that the user experience is as seamless as possible. Into the Bridge features a very clean and elegant UI, giving way for an intuitive and smooth gaming experience that will allow you to put most of your focus on the gameplay itself. This video will discuss the intricacies of user interface and more specifically its implementation into the Bridge. User interface is the interface with which the user interacts with the computer. Everything on your computer has some form of UI, be it text-based or graphical, also known as a GUI. User interface is the experience and feeling of interacting with a UI. At its core, a good UI should place functionality and UX first. If a GUI looks fancy but is hard to use, it's a bad UI. Ideally, a UI should adhere to 5 usability principles: accessibility, clarity, consistency, feedback, and simplicity. Into the Bridge's UI is one that places functionality first, choosing to start letting cool visuals in favor of better clarity. Everything you need to know is displayed clearly and effectively. It shouldn't take very long to understand how everything works. Identifiable and recognizable icons are used, such as the people saved icon being a set of people, and the power grid icon being that of a conventional energy symbol. Tooltips are available for just about every icon and text on the UI if anything appears to be unclear. This is especially so for weapons, as tooltips are the game's primary way of showing you what they do. The consequences of your actions are always clear. Predictions of what the VEC and your mechs are about to do are always placed front and center, allowing you to plan ahead. It is particularly important that this aspect of ITB is portrayed well, considering knowing exactly what's going to happen plays a major role in gameplay. Accessibility is also prioritized in ITB. A number of shortcuts and hotkeys are available and can be modified to your liking, helping with UX, especially if you have an unconventional keyboard. By default, the end turn button is set to the big space bar, while the weapons for each mech is hotkeyed to their respective number. Alongside these options, each action also has an extra hotkey besides the default one, so you can have multiple choices. The game also adds a variety of options that help with accessibility for a wider audience. Larger fonts can be enabled to suit users with eyesight issues, and a colorblind mode exists for those who need it. Newer players without a complete grasp on the game's mechanics can also enable tutorial tips, which give useful information and help to ease new players into ITB. Of course, they can be easily disabled once you've settled into the game. Most options and information are presented directly. You do not need to go hunting around endless menus to find what you want. More often than not, it'll just be right there. Less important information will usually be a click or so away. Overall, ITB has a very polished UI and great UX. Still, there are a few things that could be altered. On some occasions, dialogue can block other, sometimes important information on screen. As a result, you'll have to wait a few seconds for it to go away before you can properly move on, hampering the seamlessness and clarity of the UX. Into the Breach features one of the cleanest and most comprehensive user interfaces and is one of the keys towards the game's success. The developers having spent 2 years on working it out, it's no wonder that it works as well as it does. The UI makes great examples of clarity and accessibility, alongside following the other usability principles to a T. If there's anything else you'd like me to talk about, comment below.